Hi, this is Michael from BetterTOEFLScores.com, and today we're talking about something that can seriously impact your TOEFL speaking score, but you might not even realize you're doing it wrong. Grammatical word endings. I'm talking about those small, sneaky endings, things like the S, the ED, the ING. I gave you 3 examples. Others might be the ER, the EST. Missing these might not seem like a big deal to you, but to native speakers, and more importantly, to TOEFL human raters and the SpeechRater AI, it can sound unnatural and even confusing. So let me show you what I mean. So let's take a look at a paragraph. I'm going to read the paragraph with the grammatical word endings removed, and then I'll read it again with the grammatical word endings. Here we go. And if you want, you can practice when you get done with watching the video. You can practice reading the paragraph and then try to model the pronunciation of those grammatical word endings that you see in the second paragraph. Okay, here we go. Yesterday I walked to class. I arrived late because my friend waited for me. We talked for a few minutes, then we go inside. The teacher give us a quiz. It not easy, and I not know many answer. Sounds a little bit robotic, right? Maybe a little bit flat, but not terrible, right? The meaning is clear, but remember, I think to a TOEFL IBT human rater and to SpeechRater, you're going to score lower because of this. Now let's take a look at the same paragraph with the correct grammar and a natural delivery. Yesterday I walked to class. I arrived late because my friend was waiting for me. We talked for a few minutes, then we went inside. The teacher gave us a quiz. It wasn't easy, and I didn't know many answers. So you hear the difference? So the second paragraph, it has a more natural flow, and it sounds something similar to how a native speaker would actually say it. So why it matters? Even if you don't notice the difference, TOEFL raters absolutely will. They're trained to spot these things, and so is the AI scoring system. Missing word endings affects your delivery and language use scores. If your speech lacks natural rhythm, inflection, or fluency, you'll lose points, even if your ideas are great. Now let's talk about phonology a little bit. So the ED, it is a little bit difficult. There's a reason why maybe you don't use the ending. So in some languages like Chinese doesn't use the past tense. It doesn't have yesterday I went, today I go, tomorrow I will go. It doesn't really change the verb. So I think in languages that either have no verb tenses or very few verb tenses, your tendency, if you're coming from those languages to English, is to omit those grammatical word endings or maybe not to pronounce them at all. Okay, so let's take the ED ending. Now, there's a lot of things I could talk about here, but to keep the video so it's not too lengthy, I don't want to bore you too much here. Let's focus on the ED ending. We know that the ED can be used for the past tense, and it's also important for what we call the past participle, which is important in creating the perfect tenses. I have lived in San Bernardino for several years, for example, for the present perfect tense. Okay, so here's the rule. If you have verbs that end in P, F, S, K, these are what we call voiceless consonant sounds, then the ED is going to sound like a T, as in the word walked. Walked. Notice that pronunciation. See how there's a T there. Okay, after voice sounds. Give me a quick second here. Okay, so we have the B, G, L, M. So when the ED comes after voice consonant sounds, we're going to pronounce it as a D, called. So we have walked, called. Now, this is the tricky one. This is the one that we all get confused about. If a verb ends in a T or a D, you need to create what's called an additional syllable, id, as in want, wanted, right? So, but when you say grab and then grabbed, you're not going to say grab it. So what you want to remember is if a verb ends in a T or a D and you add ed on the end of the word, you do need to create a new syllable. So practicing these subtle differences will help you to sound natural and fluent and more like a native speaker. Now, if you need help and you're not too confident in your speaking or pronunciation right now, check out my premium TOEFL speaking and writing feedback service at bettertoeflscores.com. I'll give you personalized feedback. I'll point out word endings and delivery issues. I'll even recommend accent reduction exercises to help you speak more clearly and confidently. Thank you so much for watching my video. If it's helped you, give it a thumbs up. Leave a comment and don't forget to subscribe for more TOEFL tips every week. Good luck on your test and remember, every little sound counts.